Hey, I remember when GPS units first became popular, late 90s, early 2000s. We were all riding around with those now I guess it's the same design, but it's just our phones. But we were all riding around with these little GPS units that we plugged into our ashtray, and you'd key in your destination and you would hit start and it would point you in that direction. And I remember where there were times where like you'd turn the wrong way, or you turn a different way, or you think you would know, well, this way's actually better. But the purpose of the GPS was to always get you to that point. So no matter where you went on that route, the GPS was going to take you there. And when we think about the way that our heart works and the things that we value works, and we think about the relationship between those two things, where we're headed is going to be the place where the GPS would naturally point us to. Does that make sense? Like the GPS said, like, recalculating. So you'd make a turn and the GPS is going to pull you back toward that thing because what you were focused on was the destination. When we focus solely on earthly things, our hearts are going to be tied to those same things. Our heart is going to have that as a destination because that's our focus. And it's always going to direct us towards that. When our focus is on spiritual things, then our heart is going to be oriented towards spiritual things. Jesus says this in Matthew 6. You've heard that our ancestors, don't store up treasures here on earth. I was off a page. Matthew 6:19, don't store up treasures here on earth where moths eat them and rust destroys them and where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven where moths and rust cannot destroy and thieves do not break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be. So the things that we think about, the things that we orient our lives around, is an indication of our destination. It's an indication of our endpoint. It's an indication of where we're going, of where we want to go. I would encourage you today to think about your values, to think about the things that are most important to you. Are you storing up treasures on earth? Are those values the here and the now, and the most important thing to you is whatever it is? Maybe it's owning a home, maybe it's having a home, maybe it's having a bigger home, maybe it's orienting your entire life around the accumulation of things. Maybe your life is focused on seeking affirmation and approval from other people. What Jesus is telling us here, yes, this is 100% about finances, but it's not just about finances. What Jesus is talking about is the things that we orient our lives around. And the things that we orient our lives around have our hearts. So we're either orienting our lives around godly things or we're orienting our lives around worldly things. When we orient our lives around worldly things, they're going to fail. They're going to give up. When we orient our lives around heavenly things, they will never fail. I love you, praying with you, praying for you. And I'm looking forward to talking with you all week long about this important matter of the way that our finances help us to live beyond ourselves. Have a good rest of your day.